Yo, it's Big D. I want to tell you something about Calgary. I know guys, they did okay. They would have liked to know different. They would have liked to know, for some reason, Canada is the free land. It's more, some came here more nowhere land. Very, places like this are also very powerful, deep punishment. So the thing was, if you can somehow, if you kept tugging here, you know, and you, each day you're born here and you're rooted in, it's like a seed, nothing's there. Young, they have these game systems we're all hooked on, and, this is what it is pretty much, And they know dudes are gonna be, all of a sudden, they're gonna start arguing with their parents when their asses get, you got guys like me get a case of the bad frozen ass with the gods into. So whatever they're doing, there is gods too there. They choose, they can change it or they can repeat it. And with some guys, it just keeps like a loop and shit. And here, they went into something. Once you do it, once you get into these arguments and shit, and say you start swinging, right? I know it's a lot of kids, dudes get fall in the trap. They start swinging their bull and bear, or they hit the windows out when they're older. They had all this shit and da 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 da. Dudes are picking from you like fools a little bit too, and so as a kid, and then all the items and shit though, they don't make sense and shit because they're like, they do shit like a dial up and it comes, there's actually karma and shit. It's tough here. You're in an oil place. It's the people are industry related, so it becomes like a bed and breakfast. I know it's true, and they need a maintenance guy and they're getting their kids, and over the years, that's what happens when residents bringing money in with a T1000 type more. So you're putting something up in your mouth, and vampires are tough to bring down with bullets. They're tougher. You need these werewolves too. They have so much power. You need silver bullets, like they say, and no one has that in Canada. There's very strict gun laws, so it's like Europe, right? So anyways, you're putting this thing in your mouth, and boom! And some of them bop out and shit. And whatever they're playing with will devour your ass crack. And they send in the brazen bull, and they fear this because you do have the gods on your side. You know how they are. It's like a grandpa. It starts blaming the person. But people are not, like I'm saying, some guys got the lower seat in, they just bring us out to keep tugging these icebergs out because we know they have the soul to continue what they're doing. Scarface is more in reality when Tony, they have some super guy in there too. It could be, who knows what they're doing out there. And Zeus or something, 20 million lost, so they have to do something, right? Powerful punishment. It's true, some guys takes some kid is too cute for the desert again is brutal. I know guys they have some dad there too that just kicks them out. My mom's the same way. They eventually boot you out. You're just sitting around, and it's the work thing. I said, you guys only see the work you do as work too, like hot shots. Cops started making frappers are even worse at it. So they get these guys in, and we're lipping gods, and they're like, buddy, and they're crying, and we're gonna have a problem here, buddy, and it's all entertainment. That's the thing. And they're wondering, he's off. You want to rap like Jeffrey Dahmer? This is where you're a genie and it roots in, and they're just, and guys are making, there is guys in Canada that are successful at it, but they're not pushed in those stores. guys like Garrett were lucky to kind of get in there with guys like me and more heat on, and they're very jealous. All the Othello syndrome, because some guys feeding and making them blow it. So the devil's a wimp now, crying. Ooh. He's the big super snake bath, right? So by 37, they crank up the heat when even old gods went down as pups and bups there. So it's not that bad, they're saying, for a pup. Men don't live until governments come in. And you have to, you'd be down if that's your government, homie. I know it's easy to rebel, and they don't give a shit what you say. As soon as you do it, you're off to get butchered like many of the Eastern idiots when they put glass at gold and shit. And it's horrible. They got guys, they can't do it, and they're on this wheel, and it has a lot of pressure coming back, and they're struggling, and they got in one of these belittling right? It's just like bars. So there's the cops, right? They're even cutting down because they know, devils know that's how they've been dwarfed, and just over petty shit. So there's a hog he's after in the streets. He says, I hate this fucking Just think of it. The cell phone they got too, and like they said, old Putin's in some wire camp still, and he's asked and shit. Real guy they knew was going to happen to, all out of arrogance and putting their bet. He's rich, and some guy's rich too, while they do. So they end up, they don't have a law on it. Buddy, that's going to sink your country when you get all these kids shitting glasses and sheep. When it adds up, they know and it's going to it's going to cut your chances down. And look, even after, when people see, there goes your chance with it's one fart out there. They want to be virgin. They know too. He's got stripes in it. So when you're 37, that's why guys, they laugh and they come in, some of them, but they know, watch out, because you can get too silly. So that's why some of them don't. And they're wilding out, and he's crazy. And you're in the funny farm age too. And we know people, they start, tripping. Yeah, dudes are crazy. Some of them, they don't fuck the Bible. They're knocking everything. It's true. That's how rednecks talk. And the dirty South too. Just think of it as the dirty diaper war, and they feed it too, and the weapons. So it feeds into, people are sprouting up. They're focused on a guy like me. I'm no matchmaker, and plus it's real shit. The Bop'Z. So they're gonna clamp down too. You take the pressure, see if you have the drugs, the super drugs there too. They used to do shock dudes. See, once they keep up a little bit, they start panicking because they're focused and shit, but once you get food in the morning comes, and you'll be out the next night, you get 9 hours, 8, I've got a lot in the past month too. So, what are they doing? People know you're jealous, homie. It's not born. Kids are too young. They don't want to. Some of them, they don't even give a shit, though. They're out to, they see it, they'll snatch it. So, learn your Latino, like, blah, blah, blah. It's nice, though. Search for profit. They can go down. Your parents, 34 guys, 24 music before super viral, and 10K is what I'm pushing, right? And it's there. They say it's there, but again, they're looking. Those bombs are laughing too. They know how it goes too. They run around. They've done crazy just to impress these chicks and this. I was there. It's very easy to get caught up mischief, man. I'd keep to yourself. And then when they ask you after, say you don't know anyone there. It's just like anyone else. You're in a fart shack. And doom will, just because they're losing bets over their pride and shit. That's the thing about guys like me have very, very heavy thoughts. So we're very focused, and if there's only control in the Super Bowl combo, any fat guy they went with, but again, that's the thing about rednecks and people that are overnight and shit. They still got that mindset when I was young and I was somehow trying to be a material rapper. And it's cool, you can do your own Frank or your own Mel Bernstein shit. You can have go, oh yeah, you know, and they don't know how the crazy is. It's few percent of people, and you'd be shitting yourself. That's what I'm saying. Once they get you in the doctor, that shit, you're gonna have to say, buddy, I can't have him in the same room with me because he's literally asking dudes to showers and shit. Some of them. So sometimes you gotta say, and you know, you're gonna be tough dwarf there.